The sky is falling. The sky is falling. The Chicken Little mentality among the Christian church and the sovereignty of God. Next, on So What? Hi, I'm Chris Dorman, and welcome back to So What? You know the story, right? Little chick walking around the farm, an acorn hits this chick in the head, and it assumes the world is coming to an end, the sky must be falling. Well, my friends, that chick has no view of the grand scheme of eternity. It has no sense of a God who made it, a God who governs and rules the universe, and so when a little thing happened, it assumed it must be a terrible, horrible portent of things to come. My friends, we live in a world of death and destruction because of sin. And I'm afraid that we are looking at current events and we're running around like Chicken Little. Oh my gosh, the sky is falling. The world is coming to an end. What are we to do? What are we to do? And we have become so earthly minded that we are no heavenly good. My friends, the scriptures teach that God is sovereign. And that means, among other things, that God rules the world. The scriptures say that God has a plan, and that God is working out all things to fulfill his plan and purposes. Not most things, but that God is using all things to fulfill his plan and purposes. Do you believe that? Do you believe that your God sits on the throne and rules? I don't know about your Bible, but my Bible tells me that God is large and in charge. That's the God of the scriptures. That's the God we've been looking at in these podcasts. But my friends, I'm not sure how many of us really believe it. I got to tell you, watching the social media stuff in light of all that's happening in the world, not just in the States, it's been very discouraging to me. First, I was angry by the small-mindedness of Christians and how becoming obsessed with current events and how they've taken their eyes off the Lord. And then it just made me sad. It really did. In 2 Timothy, Paul writes what are his last words, his last will and testament, if you will. He's about to die. He's been sentenced to death by one of the most vile, despicable, immoral human beings that has ever lived on this earth. Okay? And what he says in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5 is something I think we should all pay attention to. Okay? I want you to think about this. And I'm reading out of the Amplified Version from my dear friend Jamie McCavanagh. As for you, Timothy, be calm and cool and steady. Accept and suffer unflinchingly every hardship. Do the work of an evangelist. Fully perform the duties of your ministry. Paul is about to face a horrible injustice. And what does he tell Timothy? Keep your eyes on the prize. Be faithful with the ministry God has given you. Be calm. Suffer whatever God brings in your path. Suffer that unflinchingly. Trust that your God knows what he's doing, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of persecution, even in the midst of confusing times. My friends, that is a message we need to heed today. We need to be calm. We need to be steady. We need to be faithful to the ministry our God has given us. And what is our ministry? To spread the good news of Jesus. To pray to be conformed to his image, to show the world the love of Christ. That's what we need to be doing. You can focus on current events. You can be obsessed with the news, and all that's doing for many of you is taking your eyes off what's really, truly important. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. Let us do that. Let's pursue God's kingdom and its spreading, and not be obsessed by politics, the news, crime, world events. My friends, they're distractions. They're distractions the enemy is using to keep us from looking at what's really important. Really. what is really important. What is the ministry God has given you? What are the most important commands? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Do those things. Focus on those things. Because, my friends, tomorrow it'll be another tragedy. And the week after, something else. And we'll forget about this. We will. We must keep our eyes on the prize. We must never forget that our God is sovereign and that all things are working towards the consummation of his perfect, wise, good plan. Even if we don't understand it, we can submit to him and say, thou knowest, even if we don't. Trust your God. Be faithful to your God. Be calm, cool, steady, and faithful now, right now, and make a difference for Christ. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next week.